And we are live. Let's go. Really? Need to do this real quick. Live. Give me a moment. Now let me add and we are live. Yep, we are live. We are live. Let's go. See. Okay. Let's see what's will be going on here. Hello. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be watching or like reacting to game theory, but on Five Nights at Freddy's. Basically, what we are doing is watching, reacting to game theory, but all of theories on the popular franchise Five Nights at Freddy's. The EP American Main. Let's see. We have 0 people watching right now. So let's just wait. Let's wait until at least one person just decides to, until like just one person decides to like, join in. So let's just talk about this. So basically, what we are doing. Why am I even talking to myself? Why am I talking to myself? I think I'm going crazy. Let's go. That's so crazy. That's so crazy, my guy. That's so crazy. Why am I even talking to myself? Why am I talking to myself? I think I'm going crazy. Let's go. That's so crazy. That's so crazy, my guy. It's so crazy. I know, right? It's very crazy. It's so crazy. I know, right? It's very crazy. I'm just watching myself on stream. I'm just watching myself on stream. I'm just watching myself on stream. Oh wait, this is getting a bit annoying. No, 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 no. Just launch up Discord real quick. Yep. Put it aside right there, buddy pal. You'll put it right aside. Yep, but This is crazy. We're crazy. It's so crazy. Like, buddy, this is crazy. I'm live. Boom, boom, boom. Huh. Oh, let's chill, like, let's see. At least one person has to join. One person. One person. Just one person and that's it. Just one person just needs to join. Like, one. Just one. Please. One. Just one person. One person and it'll change everything. I promise. It's gonna change everything. At least one person. What? Hold on. I'm gonna call my friend right now. Please, just one person needs to join, please. It's already been 8 minutes. No one has, no one joined. But hey, there's always a second chance. Everyone gets a second chance. Please. I'm sorry. I'm dying. Someone responded. Let's go. Hold on. Oh wait. I'm live. Let's go. Just one person. One person. Just one singular person. And that will be it. Just one person, please. I beg. Please. Just one. One person that then will start. One person. Anyone. One person. Please. One person. Please. Please. There's a there's a bug on my monitor. 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 Why is there a bug on my monitor? Don't Push is dead now. Please, I want to join. My friend. I am being. Please, one person. Okay, let's just start. We should just like not care. Let's not care about this. Let's just not care. Just don't do. Just like not. Just don't even wait. Just don't even wait. Don't even wait. Like I do not care. It's been 12 minutes now. It's been 12 minutes. It's been 12 minutes. Someone get Mr. Freeman up here. Someone get Mr. Freeman, please. It's Mr. Freeman time. Let's go. Mr. Freeman, how did you get so famous? Well, you see, there's something called Mr. Freeman move. Is when me, Mr. Freeman, Morgan Freeman, gets into literal conversation with random people. Please, somebody, please. No, let's just get this over with. I don't have enough time. Where's my mouse? Oh, my mouse is there.
Again, theorists, welcome to MatPat Plays. Today we are playing the scariest game of all creation. Probably never heard of it. It's called Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, wow.
Here we go. What's this? It's a camera. The camera came up.
Oh my gosh, that's the camera. Let's go.
Was that a bunny? Was that a bunny?
I'm pretty
I think
sure
it was a
that
bunny.
is a bunny.
Oh my gosh. I am so scared right now. Oh god! Oh. It was only the fan. It's only the fan. Only a fan.
Okay.
I have never played a game this intense.
Okay.
Oh god, shut the doors, shut the doors, shut the doors.
Okay.
Oh, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me. I'm so scared right now, I'm so scared. Can you tell how scared I am right now? Okay, we're good. Oh! Just the fan. Just the fan. I don't know about you, but every time the camera makes the sound to come up, I pee a little bit in my pants. What? That's it?
Bro is not
That's
phased
it,
by
that's
the
it.
jump scare.
It's a jump scare?
Bro is not phased
Little
by
bunny
the
rabbit jump scare. What?
Bro is not actually
Really?
phased.
Really? Alright. I mean, oh god, it's so terrifying. Oh, there's the bunny rabbit, shut my door. Man, this is truly compelling gameplay.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm almost out of power. 11% and it's 5 a.m. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Oh, please don't get me Freddy. Please don't get me Freddy. Come on. Is this what it takes to get views on YouTube?
Oh my gosh, you're going ready, let's go. Yo, what a tone. What a language.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, where fear is our...
Oh, hello there.
Anthony, I need your help to take over Minecraft SMP.
I can't. I am live right now. I'm live right... Yeah, I'm live on YouTube.
You want to take over an SMP live?
No, but I'm already streaming.
Alright,
Maybe tomorrow if I have time.
wait, how many people are watching right now?
None. No one is watching.
I'm watching a live stream with like 15 viewers. It's a Minecraft SMP.
Wait, are you live?
I'm not live. I'm currently taking over an SMP of a guy who is live.
Oh, well, can you tell anyone to join my stream? Cause no one's watching.
Alright, so I'll send you the link to the channel, and then you can ask him for the IP.
No, I don't need the IP.
You want to join?
I'm already streaming on YouTube reacting to Game Theory.
Is anyone watching?
No one's watching. That's why I'm hoping for one person to watch. Just one singular person to watch. At least one person.
You need to kind of like get your channel started off, and then you can live. Go ahead, then you can go live. So, I can't find anything. I need chickens. If I
Middle name, Matthew Fear Patrick. It's a very strange name. Okay, I'll admit it, I didn't give Five Nights at Freddy's enough credit when it first came out. A few jump scares from creatures that, aren't that scary. People overreacting to it on YouTube, meh, pass. But then when I asked you about it, you showed overwhelming support for an episode on the game on Twitter, so I began to dig a little deeper and deeper. And what I found was some of the most interesting storytelling, most intriguing
I'm just reacting to Game Theory on Five Nights at Freddy's. Why did I open up Google Classroom?
Google Classroom.
I accidentally opened that up.
Why do you have Google Classroom on your desktop?
Cause I used to like work on the. Cause I used to like work, on my desktop computer at home when I was at my old school.
So my teammate, I have two teammates. One guy called Odd, and this other guy called Frox67.
I'm currently streaming on both OBS Studio and on YouTube Studio. I'm gonna end the stream on YouTube Studio.
Now.
Yep.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I'm using contracts to ban people, not to ban people, but I'm using contracts to give myself legal obligation to kill them.
Yes, legal obligations.
mysteries and most disturbing events I'd read about in a long time. Now, if you were just to play the game straight through 5 days, the story would actually come across as pretty superficial. You're the new night guard watching the
It's practically illegal for him to ban me. Ban this guy, basically. Alright, so I sent you the link to the stream. Ask him for the download link, or asking for the IP, and give him your username.
What is
Then he will whitelist you, and then you can join.
the keybind to turn this off?
I gave you the link to the Discord.
Okay.
I mean, it's a really basic sweater design. It's just like. I also made a different version of it. Like really working. Oh, all right, Hillbilly. Have a good one. Oh, hello, ANF Games. Let's see, I need to get this fixed. Keybinds. Real camera. Oh my gosh. No, it's not. I mean, you can rip it from Skindex. Like, all you have to do is, like, enter my name and rip it. This is so dumb. I hate it when this thing gets enabled. I don't want real camera to be enabled right now. What about what, Jesse? And, I'm sorry, ANF Games, but I won't be joining any, other streams while I'm streaming. Just for the sake of... I have small brain, and small brain can't comprehend two things at once. I mean, just look at my derpy eyes. They're so beady and looking in opposite directions.
Hold on. Yeah, I know. I've already set everything up. I practiced.
Yes.
I practiced the quiz.
I'm sorry, Jesse. I thought I answered you on that. Yes. I will be going to a trial chamber. I just need to, find one again.
And, since I didn't get the study guide for social studies, so they're gonna be later this week, okay?
Psychic, I found something wrong with your skin. I think that one's supposed to be a slim skin.
I've done it like 10 minutes
because I see these black strips on your arm. Mine is a wide one, but that's just because of the parry I picked. But yours, I think, is supposed to be slim, because I can see the black right there, and there's black on the back of the arm, too, so... Which just means there's a, texture missing there. Because it's trying to fit the model, or the PNG differently. Don't ask me how to explain that again. Because it will be very incoherent. Alright. Well, that'll be fun. Yes, probably a good idea. Bruh. Imagine I just killed you and took all your stuff while you were there, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm glad you have my skin. But do something to change it up. Instead of the face on it, maybe make it red. Or, you don't have to do it today, but make it red and have a dragon on it just to reflect your name. I don't know, or black for the Ender Dragon.
Video of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Just a thought.
And why not?
Or just to play the game straight through 5 days, the story would actually come across as pretty superficial.
Well,
You're the new night guard watching the security cameras at a Chuck E. Cheese style restaurant called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. 4 animatronics roam the halls at night because the owners don't want their servos to lock up. Bad news is, you can't let them near you or else they'll kill you on the spot because you look like a naked endoskeleton.
I mean, yeah.
Ow, ow! Wow, show them those circuits. Apparently, one of them bit someone back in 87, presumably 1987.
I'm okay
When the
at
past
making
guard
skins,
leaves
I
you
think.
recorded phone messages to act as your tutorial.
Okay, yes,
that is
Jesse, I
as
just
much
need
as he
to,
could record before he got himself killed. And that's it. Stay 5 nights, collect your paycheck,
Yes.
done, game
Well, not
over, play
everyone,
something
but
new. But
people
playing it that
using,
way is doing the game a huge disservice. Because that's not
variations
even
of my
scratching
skin.
the surface. If you're really observant,
Oh, the
you start to
dog?
unravel the layers of unsolved mysteries around this place. You find that there's a 5th animatronic, that posters
like,
on the wall will
punched by
change
someone and
randomly,
teleported to
that
me.
news clippings appear and
I can go
disappear,
over to
telling
him,
the
I just
dark secrets of this
have to
twisted
find him
place.
again.
Putting it
Yeah,
all
I know
together,
where he
here's
is.
the rest of the story. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, once a popular restaurant, fell into hard times when 5 children went missing there after being lured to a back room by a man dressed in a character costume. Though a suspect was caught and convicted, the bodies of the children were never recovered.
no.
The pizzeria was also threatened with shutdown due to sanitation complaints, as foul odors started to come from the animatronics, blood and mucus
All right,
oozing from their eyes and
16
mouths.
string
The last
right
article,
here, up
written
for grabs
years
on the
after the
ground.
incident, states that the pizzeria would finally be closed
Oh.
by year end. In addition to the core 4
Well, that's
robots,
not good
Chica, Bonnie,
cheer.
Freddy, and Foxy, there's also a 5th, unofficially referred to as Golden Freddy. Ignoring the rules of physics, Golden Freddy appears and disappears at will, can
Oh, well, that's,
inexplicably travel through doors
great.
wherever, causing strange hallucinations.
really.
And when he
I don't
attacks
know.
you, you're not taken
I
to
don't
the
know if you're
typical
happy to
game
be
over
moving or
screen.
not,
Your
but
game crashes. So
personally, I
that's
don't like
unsettling.
moving
And
houses
there's
that
also
much.
strange messages appearing on
It's
the
a pain
walls,
to get
repeating
all
the
of my
words,
junk
"It's
out
me."
of
According to the game's creator,
everywhere.
the place is indeed haunted by what we can only assume to be the spirits of the 5 lost children. So that's the gist of it.
Okay.
Murder, missing children, foul odors, killer robots, and pizza. But that story leaves a lot of lingering
Yeah, see,
questions.
here's Halo.
Who is your character? How's he fit in? Why does he stay for 5
okay, well,
nights
that's
when
good,
he's
Q.
very clearly confronting the possibility of death? What more can we know about this terrifying
suppose,
Golden
yeah.
Freddy? And most importantly, what is the
who
complete
is,
story behind 5 Nights at Freddy's?
Serene
They're all
Lime?
good questions about a delightfully incomplete and mysterious story with just enough threads to keep you theorizing. So now, if you'll indulge me, let me reciprocate that story with one of my own. I think you'll find it interesting. December 1993,
Oh.
Aurora,
Well, why do you
Colorado.
need two
10
accounts
p.m.
on it?
Tuesday night at a local Chuck E. Cheese. After a family birthday party runs long, manager Margaret Kohlberg and teenage employees Sylvia Crowell, Ben Grant, Colleen O'Connor, and Bobby Stevens are
Actually, I think one of the comments on this video said that their mom was friends with Ben Grant and that she was sad that Ben Grant died.
are forced to stay late to
Oh my
close up
gosh.
shop. But as Margaret tallies receipts in the back, Bobby
get
scrubs
some
down the
food.
kitchen, and the other 3 work outside in the main arcade. Unknown to any of the 5, there's actually a 6th person locked in the building with them,
hello.
waiting silently in the darkened restrooms. A
Hello,
19-year-old named Nathan Dunlap. Earlier that year,
sorry
Nathan
about
had
what?
begun working there as a cook, dough master, before getting fired in July
Not
after a
joining,
disagreement over his hours.
on
Now,
time for
5
your
months
timer,
later,
or what?
he was back. At 10:05, he left the bathroom,
Oh, it's
pulled out
okay,
a
it's
small
okay.
caliber handgun, and proceeded to execute everyone in the building. First Sylvia, then Ben, then Colleen. Dunlap then moved to the kitchen, where he surprised Bobby
says that
Stevens.
player
The
does
bullet
not
entered
exist.
Bobby's jaw, sending him sprawling onto the ground. Then finally, Nathan moved to the back, the office, where Margaret opened the safe before Nathan shot her twice, proceeded to grab her bag, filling it with $1,600
Okay, I
in
just
cash,
saw the head, but
arcade
actually it looks pretty
tokens,
good.
and keychains. Spurred on by the building security
Oh.
footage, police were at his home a few
Idea,
hours
what if
later,
you,
where he was promptly arrested.
what if you changed
Eventually,
all the,
he was tried and
flesh
sentenced to death, but his
tones,
story re-entered the news just recently as his
into,
punishment has
per
been
se,
postponed, leading
Perry's
people to
platypus.
debate whether he's able to sleep soundly, knowing that his execution
At some
has
point.
been delayed. This is a tragic story, a disgusting waste of human life, and
Like,
one that I
all
won't
of the,
joke about or
tan
make
color
fun of
where
in
the,
any way.
person's
But I want to
face is.
address it because I have a strong suspicion that this story is the one that inspired Five
And,
Nights
like,
at Freddy's.
arms.
Let's look at the facts.
Not arms,
First,
but
I don't think that there's any
hands,
doubt that Freddy's is a parody of
and
Chuck E.
ankles.
Cheese. From the singing animatronics to the alliterative
You know,
naming
just so
of the
that way it's all,
characters, the parallels are just obvious, so the setting
Harry
is
the
certainly the
Platypus-y.
same. Next, what year does Five Nights take place? The time
Per
is
se.
certainly kept vague, but there are clues that we can put together. For one, the Chuck E. Cheese franchise had a tremendous period of growth and success in the late 80s and early 90s, but started to decline along the same time as arcades, with at-home video game consoles taking center stage. So that's one clue, but we can get even more detailed, specifically with your character's paycheck. Each night you're working a 6-hour shift, and you're spending 5 nights there. So that's 30 hours of total work time for $120. In total, $4 an hour. How can they do that? That's below minimum wage for 20.
Let's fact check it. Let's fact check it.
Ugh. I know I can only sleep at night, but I want to sleep now.
Let's fact check it.
What if I want to take a nap? Aha.
Fact check.
Casually gets data pack that lets me sleep during the day. Oh my. The whole point of sleeping was so that way I could go trade with the villagers. Well, the food villagers over here anyway.
Let's see.
Aha. I made it. Now where is that golden carrot trade? What? Do they not have golden carrots? And I can't trade for the bread?
14. But in 1990, minimum wage was $3.80. In 1991, it was raised to $4.25. And by 1996, you were looking at about $5 an hour. So the game seems to take place between 1991 and 1996. The Nathan Dunlap story took place in 1993. But let's move on to the most important comparison.
Yes, naps and bread. I very much agree. Two very, very nice things. Wow, that gave me a lot of saturation.
Check it out. You were not wrong. It was actually $4.25 an hour.
Okay, I'm gonna put their workstations here. I'll remove them.
The victims. In the game, there were 5 child victims. In the real-life story, there were also 5 victims. But we can get even more specific. Online theories about the game always tend to draw a parallel between the number of kids missing to the number of animatronics, saying that the children's bodies were stuffed in the various suits. And this appears to be true. Bonnie and Chica both have moans and raspy breath sound effects, as though someone's trying to cling to the last threads of their lives stuffed inside the costumes. And other sounds made by the animatronics are just slowed down versions of children's laughs and screams. Additionally, as the news clipping mentions, the suits ooze blood and mucus
fresh
and begin to
animations.
stink
It's really
like decaying
good. I love
bodies
it.
or reanimated corpses. So 5
Makes all
victims,
the mobs
5
have
suits seems
fresh
like a slam
animations.
dunk.
Like, look
but
at
nowhere
that.
does it say
Villagers
that
are just,
all
like,
5
being
were
very special.
murdered, only that they went missing and
yeah,
couldn't
he
be
agrees.
found. Also, the trouble a lot of people have with this theory is Golden
nodded
Freddy.
his head.
Why is that guy so limp and lifeless? So
Wait, that purple or is that a black?
No, I'm not Perry the Platypus. Let me,
It looks black, but I think it might
I took off my hat. I am no longer Perry the Platypus. Oh, that looks so cursed.
purple. So that
unlike the others. It's weird until you go back to the real-life story. Yes, there were 5 people shot that night in Chuck E. Cheese, which matches the 5 victims in Freddy's story. But of those,
I should get
one
that-
survived.
that
Bobby,
one mod
the
that
one
lets
from
you
the
hide
kitchen,
your,
miraculously survived the
armor.
shot to his jaw. After he was knocked to the floor by the bullet, he went limp, played dead, to avoid the killer
Yeah,
coming
Perry
back
the
to finish the
Abomination.
job. And that relates exactly to the advice you're given
hello,
on night
Apple's an
3
apple.
by the phone guy.
Try playing dead. You know, go
So
for it.
basically,
Again, let me
what
reiterate
you
that I'm
gotta
not
do
trying to make
is
light of the real-life events by comparing
tell
them
me
to
your
bear
either Java
costumes and
or Bedrock
animatronics,
name.
but I
I don't
do
care
want to
what
point out
version it
that
is,
these
just make sure you tell me
similarities
what
do
version it is.
exist. And what else
then
is
I can
limp?
whitelist
Appears
you.
to be a lifeless, empty suit in the
then
game. Golden Freddy.
You have to
Surviving
agree
the
to the
attack, Bobby
terms of
was able to go
service,
to
which
trial
is
and be a
just the
damning
server
piece
rules
of
before
evidence
you
in the
join,
case
which is
against
basically
Nathan
just, like,
Dunlap, ultimately leading to
don't
his
be-
death sentence.
don't do
which
stuff that annoys
animatronic
me,
surprises
and
you
then
by
read the
appearing
servers
randomly?
afterwards.
The one you
Or
don't
read the
expect
rules
and has
after
no
you join.
clear pattern? Golden Freddy. It's also worth mentioning that of all the cameras in the restaurant, one
thank you very
is
much,
always
ANF
black,
Games.
preventing you from
Really-
seeing
really
what's
do
going
appreciate
on.
it.
That camera is located in the kitchen, leading many to assume it's where Golden Freddy hides, which
I
just so
think
happens
so.
to be the place Bobby was able to survive the
should be
attack.
able to.
So I ask, odd coincidence or source of inspiration?
I
In
just
fact, if
need
you think
your
about it, the
username.
behavior of the animatronics really corresponds with key features of each of the
both
real-life
of you.
story's victims. We just covered Golden Freddy and Bobby, but the rest have strange parallels too. Bonnie goes into the utility closet filled with floor cleaning supplies, the most
Okay.
prominent ones
And
being a
then-
mop and a broom. It's probably one of
agree
the
to
most
the terms and
random
services
rooms in the
of
game,
not
until you consider that Ben, the
annoying
second
me.
victim, was vacuuming at the time of the attack. Foxy is kept sequestered
And then
in the
just
back
read
of
the
the
rules on
building,
the sign
behind a
after you,
curtain, more aggressive than all the
get in.
rest. Similar to the way Margaret, the
And also you
manager, was in
cannot
the back
go over,
office counting receipts at the time of the
8
murder,
o'clock
and her
script.
role as manager
Because it
would
only lets
inherently make her
me
more
have it on
aggressive
for
or
4 hours a
assertive.
day.
Sylvia was closest to the bathroom and was
And,
cleaning up the salad bar at the time of the attack.
wow.
Chica walks past the bathroom
Frankly,
and is associated with food. And Freddy, well, he doesn't
I'd
have
like
that
to be
strong
able
of a
to stream
parallel
on
with
Sundays,
Colleen,
so
but he
that's
does
basically
appear in
it.
the girls' restroom.
Okay.
Odd for what we would assume to be
Yeah,
a male
I'm supposed
animatronic.
to,
Maybe it's a reference to Colleen.
Okay, just try to join it first, and then see if it'll let me whitelist you, because sometimes it doesn't let me whitelist Bedrock players that much. So this is the Bedrock IP, and then this is the Java IP. The only difference is one of them has a .bedrock. Where am I? I'm by the village reader.
Being
Okay.
a girl, or a nod
Okay.
to Nathan's plan of hiding in the bathroom until he was ready to attack.
Okay, it
Alright,
still
after
says-
doing all
okay,
the
it
research,
still says
reading
on
every
console,
fan
you just
theory
go
in
to
existence,
console,
and
you
putting
just
all
go
the
to
pieces
add
together,
server,
what can this
and
mean
then,
for the story of the game? I think the
okay,
game
here,
is an
I'll go to-
allegory for
okay,
that
here,
night
I'll-
in 1993. Here's my final interpretation. You,
You just go
Mike
to
Schmidt,
add-
are
yeah,
the
you just go to
murderer,
add or
former
whatever, and
employee
server
of
list or
Freddy's
whatever, and
Pizzeria.
go
Like
down
Nathan in the real story, you were
find-
fired for the
and
reason
find
stated in the
server,
Day
find
7
the
pink
add
slip,
server,
tampering with the
find
animatronics,
enter
being
the
unprofessional,
works,
odor.
see if
Maybe it was
works,
your
and then
tampering with the
I'll
robots that caused the
need- and then
infamous
I'll
bite of
need
87.
your,
Regardless,
in-game name
like Nathan,
before-
you were
in-game
mad
name
and wanted to
before-
get even. So you
before I,
lured children to the
before
back
I,
using a
or
costume,
before you actually
killed
allowed
them,
it, before
stuffed
you
their
actually
bodies
allowed
into the
it, that's
animatronic
because-
suits, hoping
Also,
to
I
get
don't
the
know
place
why it
shut
wasn't-
down,
also, I don't know
then
why it
left.
wasn't
Notice
letting
that the
me whitelist
newspaper
you
clippings
apples and
never
apples. Just
say
try
it's an
joining-
employee of the
just try
company
joining
luring the
whitelist
children
and
away,
without
but we
the
know it
whitelisted
must
for
have
not
been
being
someone with
whitelisted, for
access
not
and
being
knowledge of the
whitelisted.
employees-only
I'll
section
whitelist
of
you
the
then,
building.
'cause then it
And
whitelisted
as the
you then,
newspaper
'cause then it
clippings
might have
clearly
been- oh,
show,
sweet,
just like
seen
Nathan,
it.
you
Oh,
were
sweet.
caught almost immediately,
Not bad,
captured
not
on the
bad, not
security
bad, not
footage.
bad.
You were arrested, tried, and convicted, forced now to live on death
Definitely
row.
looks
The Freddy's
good.
Pizzeria
Definitely
you
looks
work in
good.
now are just the nightmares that haunt you, taunting you every night with the phrase,
Yeah.
"It's me."
Okay, so
It's
one
me.
thing that I would
It
suggest-
is
so one
you.
thing that I would
You
suggest is
are
since
the
you have
killer.
the,
The
I
nightmare
don't
is
have
also
because
why
I
everything is
don't
so
have one. I'm an
surreal.
idiot
Posters
and
switching at
log
random,
Minecraft,
heads on the
Minecraft,
animatronics
Minecraft,
glitching,
Minecraft,
Golden
Minecraft,
Freddy appearing and
claim
disappearing
it.
at will, taunting
You
you
can
as the one
make
that
it
got
kind of
away.
like this-
It's also
make
why
it
you're
kind
only
of
at
like
the
this
pizzeria from
rainbow
midnight to
shirt,
6 a.m.
all
every
of
night.
your,
It's a nightmare. It's
jacket-
in your sleep. It's a
jacket,
place
that way
you
it kind of
created,
blends
a
in,
restaurant
that way it kind
long
of blends in
closed as
together. I think,
evidenced
or
by
you
the
can still
spider
leave
webs,
it red,
and
or you can still
overrun with
leave it red
angry
and just
spirits
texture it
out
either
for
way.
revenge
Whatever works
on
better.
you, and
Whatever
you
works better
alone
for
as
you.
the one who took their lives, as evidenced by them completely ignoring the naked endoskeleton elsewhere in the building. It's also a place you can't escape from, why you find yourself back there night after night, even after you complete your 5 nights. See you back next week, the ending text goes. You're unable to leave this terror, the threat
Okay,
of
what
death,
is
the
this?
guilt,
Oh, that's
because
Bayhood's
it never
space. Oh, that's
ends.
Bayhood's
And in a
space.
delightfully
I'm just like,
ironic
what is
twist,
that, random
your
bamboo
personal
thing
hell
or
forces you to
random bamboo
supervise
thing
the
in the
exact
middle?
same
I
security
forgot he was
footage
in the
that led
process
to
of-
your
I forgot he was
capture
in the
in the
process of
first
the
place.
villager.
But hey,
villager.
that's just a theory. A game theory. Sweet
I-
dreams.
I wouldn't be able to make it into a realm. I wouldn't be able to make it into a realm, no. The server
You know what
name
October
is just,
reminds me
the
of?
server name is
Traveling from door to door in order to
get.
get free snacks on Halloween. Look at this. With Nature Box,
Not
every
directly
month
right now.
is like
not
your
soon,
own
directly
personal
right now, but
reverse
soon,
Halloween,
Jesse.
where you don't have.
Hello? Hello, and welcome to the new and improved Five Nights at Freddy's 2 video.
Oh, that definitely sucks then.
I'm here to
that
answer any
definitely
questions
sucks
the
then.
game
Are
may
you
have
not
left
able to
unanswered.
add? Are you
The
not
game's
able to
developer,
add
he's,
servers?
He's a pretty tricky guy. Don't worry, though. We'll get everything cleared up. Oh, and watch out for the puppet.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry about that.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that promises not to include any more gratuitous jump scares, unless that's just what I want you to think, so I can lull you into a false sense of security and scare you again. But I wouldn't do that. I'll just let the uncertainty of whether a jump scare is going to happen or not drive you insane for the rest of this episode. Man, I love reverse psychology. You know what else I love? These games! Not because I'm freaked out by the rosy-cheeked, tingle-looking, emotionally dead animatronics. Okay, well, Balloon Kid is pretty messed up, but whatever. No, what I appreciate about these games is the level of thought that went into every element of the story. When you create a game that has people rage debating about whether
Okay,
it's a
who is
sequel or
Anthony
a
Martin?
prequel,
Who is
you've definitely
Anthony
done
Martin
something
99?
right. Unless that was never your
I
intent,
saw
in
on
which
the,
case you've done
console.
something
I saw on
horribly,
the,
horribly
console
wrong.
they were
Anyway,
trying to
the
do it.
point is, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 looks to be everything you'd want in a sequel. More cameras, more danger, and more fan. Oh, the fan. But that also comes with more questions. Questions about
Oh, hey, nice diamonds. Great job. Okay, who is Anthony Martin 99? I saw on the
Connection
console they were
red.
trying to join. I don't know. I think, I mean, it might not be a good sign, but
about the game's lore. And while others will provide you with the jump scares, I provide you with what everyone really wants, answers. Well, maybe not everyone. What an elite, educated subset of you really want, answers. So grab yourselves a slice of Freddy Fazbear's signature pizza, cause we're about to dig in. Ugh, tastes like cardboard. Let's get the big one out of the way first. Is the game a sequel or a prequel sequel? And what I mean by that is, contrary to popular belief, just because it has a big 2 slapped next to the name doesn't automatically mean the game comes after the first one in a timeline sense. It's a sequel, yes, but it tells a prequel story. Take for instance these all-time classics, Psycho 4: The Beginning, Lion King 1.5, and the actual all-time classic Godfather Part 2, all of them sequels that just so happen to
What is
also be
Godfather Part
prequels. It's not mutually exclusive, so where's Five Nights at Freddy's 2 fit in? Knowing its place in the timeline is crucial for understanding its story. Well, to figure that out, let's focus on the paycheck you receive at the end of your 5th night. The date places the events of the game in 1987,
Okay, so
a whole 6
I've
years
got-
ahead of
okay,
when we
so-
determined
and
the
I've
first
got
game took
now
place in our
enough
first video.
food now.
Sounds like a prequel, but we found that date in the first game by calculating Mike
Oh, all right.
Schmidt's
Hello,
hourly
Frog
pay
67.
and comparing
Oh, all right.
that to the
Hello,
minimum
Frog
wage
67.
of the 90s. If Scott Coffin, the game's developer, is just picking random numbers for the payments, this bit of evidence would be meaningless. Except that he's not. At the end of Five Nights 2, you get paid $100.50. Divide that by the 30 hours worked and you get $3.35 an hour. The exact minimum wage for 1987, which means that us using minimum wage calculations to identify the year of Five
Okay,
Nights
Will.
1 is a perfectly
Okay,
valid
Will.
way to prove it, and shows that it
Just give
takes
me 1
place
second.
after the
give
events
me
of
1
Five Nights
second.
2. Still don't believe me? Players brave enough to survive the extra night 6 are rewarded with a bonus check and a newspaper clipping that says the toy robots are getting scrapped, and that the old ones are going into storage for a new, smaller scale version of the restaurant. That would explain why the old models reappear in Five Nights 1, and the toy models don't. And notice how it mentions a smaller version of the restaurant. The building in Five Nights 1 is significantly smaller than the setting of Five Nights 2. Need more evidence? What about the fact that on the first night in the office, the phone guy explains that the robots used to walk around during the day just like they do in Five Nights 2, but not anymore. Or the fact that phone guy dies in the first game, making it hard for him to also be the phone guy in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 if it takes place after. Call me the Phantom Menace, cause every way to Sunday, this game is a prequel. So with that revelation out of the way, we're able to piece together the rest of the timeline and dig a little bit deeper. Posters everywhere in Five Nights 2 welcome you to this new location, implying that there was another Freddy Fazbear's Pizza somewhere before this one. Additionally, the phone guy makes reference to it on night 1, mentioning the old location and how it was left to rot. So we know that there was one Freddy Fazbear's Pizza for the first game, one for the second game, and one that came before both of them that we've never seen. But even before that, the phone guy also mentions an even older restaurant called Fredbear's Family Diner, which, aside from its confusingly different name, also had different owners. So let me recap. There's the restaurant from the first game, which is the last in the timeline. The one that you're currently working at in 1987 in Five Nights 2, an older location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria left to rot, and the original Fredbear's Diner. I hope you're still with me, because this is more complicated than the Zelda timeline. Anyway, it's at this first location, the diner, where the whole story begins. Submitted for the approval of the Game Theorist Society, this is the true tale of Five Nights at Freddy's. When you die in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, before you've even gotten over the jump scare, you sometimes get a scream like this. Oh, turn it off, it's too horrifying. That, youngsters, was E.T. for the Atari, a console that came out before the NES. Yes, around the same time as the dinosaurs. It's widely considered to be the worst game of all time, hence me reacting in a horrified manner. See? Humor, folks. But seriously, you get these disturbing death minigames which, true to the 1987 setting, use Atari-esque graphics to depict various horrific events. All the while, a creepy robotic voice spells out letter by letter things like help them, save them, or save him. These death minigames are the most important piece in figuring out the true story behind these games. Let's start with this one. This death minigame has you playing as Freddy, taking cake to screaming children at a birthday party. As Freddy rushes around trying to keep the whole party happy, a single sad child looks on from outside, when suddenly you're powerless to do anything but look on in abject horror as a purple man pulls up in a car, murders the child, and drives off. It's my belief, loyal theorists, that this game takes place at Fredbear's Diner, and is chronologically the first event that we see in this timeline. How do I know? Well, it's a small establishment, and there's only one animatronic, Freddy, as opposed to all the other games which show other robots. But more importantly, this murdered child is the one that sets everything into motion. One of the new tasks added to Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is winding a mysterious music box that we're told placates one of the animatronics. If you fail to wind the music box, what you're introduced to is this terrifying thing, the puppet. It looks like No-Face from Spirited Away. You know what else he looks like? Take a look at that murdered child again. See how his tear tracks remain visible on his face, even after he's dead? If we assume that they'll continue to stay with him into the afterlife, we can make a pretty good case that this kid's murdered spirit eventually found its way into the puppet animatronic. But that's not all. What jump scare happens after this save him minigame? After seeing this tear-stained child's murder reenacted in 8-bit, the puppet jumps out of the screen and attacks you. Coincidence? I don't think so. That incident marks the first time the chain is ever associated with a violent act carried out against a child, and we can infer that it was this incident that caused the original owners of Fredbear's Diner to sell off to the company now known as Fazbear Entertainment. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was senselessly murdered and left to haunt a crappy pizza place for the rest of my life in the body of an awful-looking clown doll, I'd want to get my revenge as soon as possible. Fortunately for our vengeful puppet, though, it doesn't quite turn out that way. Fast forward a few years to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the first location, the one that has yet to appear in a game. This new restaurant is the one we learned about in my earlier episode and throughout the first game, where our pal the murderer uses a golden Freddy suit to lure away and kill 5 children in the back room. As we read through the various articles on the wall, he gets caught the next day, but the bodies are never found, presumably because they've been stuffed into the animatronic suits. The restaurant stays open for a few months until the dead body stink starts to waft off the robots. It causes the place to get shut down for health health reasons.
just a layer.
But how do
You
we
just
know
press-
this
it's just
happened
a
in the
layer.
first
You just
pizzeria's
press the
location?
option,
Again, we turn to what the phone guy says. On night 2 of Five Nights 2, he mentions the
it's
smell
just,
coming from the
like,
old
over
animatronics,
battery,
the
just
smell
select
that
all
got
over
the
battery.
original
You can
restaurant
select
shut
all
down.
the
We also know
appendages
that
and
after the
stuff.
Golden
Shows, like,
Freddy
an
incident,
outline
it took
of the
multiple
skin. Shows, like,
months
an
for the
outline
restaurant
of
to
the
get
skin.
shut
Plus,
down.
if you turn it
That
off, you
couldn't
can
have
get
happened
into
in the
the
restaurant
inner
of
layer,
Five
you can
Nights
get
at Freddy's
into the
2, which
inner
is shut
layer,
down on
all
night
that.
6
Oh,
and into the
Cinebro,
foreseeable
thank you very much for
future.
joining
But
us,
outside of these
Cinebro.
lore clues, it also makes logical
And,
sense.
have a good
Before the
night, or
Golden
good
Freddy
day,
murders,
have
there
a
was
good night,
one
or
dead
have a good
child
day,
whose
or
tear-stained
whatever
soul
time it is.
existed in the
Electric.
form of the
Yes,
puppet. But
yes,
now
electric.
there are
What?
5
Yes,
more
what
dead
is it?
children,
Radiation.
and thanks to
Okay,
another of the
going
death
to
minigames,
radiation.
we find out
Okay,
exactly
that's
what
good.
happened to
Also
them.
have
In the
the
Help Them
platypus,
minigame,
and
the
also
puppet
just 'cause
stuffs
it's
the
the
dead
platypus
children
that
into
just
the
'cause it's
robotic
the
suits,
platypus
giving
that
their
brings
souls
up
new
five.
life,
So,
and
I'm
preps
gonna
them for their
say,
eternal
I'm
mission
gonna
of
say
vengeance. But Matt Pat, you say through your chattering teeth, there are only 4
7-ish.
dead children in that game.
7-ish.
To which I tell you, look closer if you dare. For the frame right before Golden Freddy's head jumps out and attacks features the lost 5th dead
16
child, and what
skins.
started
First
as a
16
haunted
skins.
puppet has suddenly
'Cause
become an
there's
army
32
of possessed
skins, there's
animatronics
38
out
skins,
for
there's like
revenge.
128
But wait,
bedrock
that's not
skins,
all
which
we
can be
know.
used
We
on
also know the
bedrock.
murder was committed by the same guy who killed the first child. How?
Hey,
Look
well,
at
it's
the
not bad
Foxy
for your
death
first time.
minigame.
Hey, well,
Twice,
it's not bad for your
Foxy
first
runs
time.
out to meet
Oh,
the
that kinda
kids, but the
sucks,
third
Zebra.
time
So
we
that
see
kinda
the
sucks,
tall
Zebra.
purple man
Sorry
again,
about that.
smiling. Foxy
that
goes into
purple
the
one?
other
Jesse,
room
I
to
have the
find
cords.
5
Oh, Jesse, I
dead
have the
children.
cords
The man
now,
in
so-
purple strikes again.
wait, it's
Skip
not-
ahead to 1987,
I had
finally
it a
bringing
second
us to the
ago.
events of
I
Five
had it
Nights
a
at
second
Freddy's
ago.
2. The old animatronics
Now
have
I
been
have to-
retired, and the cute new
have
versions
to
of all our favorite friends come
paste
equipped
it
with
again.
facial recognition software
It
that
didn't
just so
copy
happens to be
them. It
connected to a
didn't
sex
copy them.
offender
I have everything
database.
on, like,
Seems like an oddly
have
specific
everything on, like,
detail,
text
right?
document.
Until you consider that the
Text
last
document.
restaurant was
Okay.
closed for having children
So
get
negative,
kidnapped and killed by an
so
employee.
negative,
It's a
so
safety
this,
measure. You see how it all ties together? So you have some animatronics possessed by vengeful
alright,
spirits
Electric. Well,
and another
thank you,
batch on the
Electric, for
prowl
joining.
for
Appreciate it.
predators.
Thank you,
But
thanks
that
for
doesn't
joining.
stop our
Appreciate it.
friend the
And,
Purple
thanks for
Man
joining
from
and
continuing his
watching.
life's
Thanks for
work of
joining and
murdering
watching the
children
stream.
at
I
Freddy
definitely appreciate
Fazbear's
that.
Pizza.
Okay.
As we learn from the phone guy on nights 4 through 6, the
Ah,
new
nice.
restaurant is once
Ah,
again
nice.
under investigation as, well, I'll let him explain.
It's because it's on the overlay layer. It's because it's on the overlay layer. You put all of the aqua colored stuff, the aqua layer instead of on the overlay layer, which is where how you would edit layer, which is where how you would edit
We had a
the
spare in the back,
face
yellow
and
one.
stuff.
Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right.
The Golden Freddy Killer struck again. The final death
Oh, thanks,
minigame
apples
also
and apples.
supports
I really
this.
appreciate
You,
apples and
as
apples. I really
Freddy, must
appreciate
walk
that.
through an exact replica of the building. Animatronics all in their proper places,
I don't know why
seeing the
people,
5
whenever
dead
they stream,
children
they're always
spread
people,
out
so
through
whenever
the
they stream,
various
they're always,
rooms.
like, so
And based
mean
on what
or
Phone
whatever.
Guy says, it
Do you get it
seems
now,
like the
Psychic?
guilty party was the
Do you
former
get it
night
now,
guard,
Psychic?
the one
Put
who moved to
everything one
day
layer
shift
back.
and the
You
one
can
your
put
character
everything one
replaced.
layer
I
back
mean,
and it
Phone
would
Guy
work
makes plenty
perfectly.
of uncomfortable references to suddenly having an available position during the day.
When we get it all sorted out, we may move you to the day shift. The position just became...
Yeah,
Available.
realistically. Yeah,
we don't have a
realistically.
replacement
Also,
for your
another
shift yet,
good,
but we'll
I
work
would say,
on it.
also
But
another
is the
good
Purple
quote
Man
I would
really
say
someone we've
YouTuber
never
is,
met, and
real
who's only
YouTuber
worked there a
villager
week,
is,
or is it
before
someone we
he's-
trust,
I know him
someone with a
before
long
he's met him.
history
I
with
know
these
him in real life.
characters,
Well, I've met his
someone
not in
no
real life, I
one
know.
would suspect,
He's not
the
a
head
close
guard,
friend,
the
I
one
think. He's
forced to
actually my
fill
close
empty
friend, I
positions
think.
and
He's
teach
actually
new
my best. He
recruits
has 1K
by leaving them
subs. He
instructions
has 1K
over the phone.
subs.
Is
So
the
Jesse,
Purple
it's-
Man
this
the
guy.
phone
So
guy?
Jesse, it's-
Ask
let me go
yourself
this
this:
way
what do we
somewhere. Oh, here,
really know about
me
Phone
sleep.
Guy? Let's look at what he says.
sleep.
First, he always speaks like an outsider looking in. He refers to the management of the company as they. So he's not a higher up like the CEO or even a manager. But he's also not a typical day
it has the
worker, as he
ability
says
to be
things
fixed.
like
It
the
has the ability to
employees
be
and
fixed,
the
but
staff.
it's not.
So
Okay,
he works
Jesse, just
there,
follow me
but
this
isn't
way. Okay,
generally
Jesse, just
considered
follow
a
me this
regular
way.
member of the company. We also know that he's qualified to take the role of a night guard. As we learn, he plans to take over the position sometime after night 6, and is on his way out of the position by the time the first game starts.
For now, just make it through the night. When the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take the night shift myself. I actually worked in that office before.
Well, that's good, Apple. Okay, he's pretty good, Apple. He's pretty good.
What else do we know? Well, we know that Phone Guy has a long history with the company, being with it at least since the first pizzeria that we haven't played in. He also openly admits that Foxy the Pirate was always his favorite, and that he has never liked the puppet because, as he says, it was always thinking.
See, I told you wouldn't have any problems. Did Foxy ever appear in the hallway? Probably not. I was
Holy
just curious.
moly.
Like I said,
Holy moly.
he was always my favorite. I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing.
This renders
always
the stuff so slow.
thinking.
If it's
That
lagging
can
for
go
anybody else,
anywhere.
it's because
Okay,
if it's
but
lagging
what do
for
we know
anybody
about
else,
the
it's 'cause we're
purple
loading
guy,
new
the
chunks.
Golden Freddy Killer? Well, let's look at the mini games again. He has a long history with the
How sweet a
franchise,
village.
killing since it was
How sweet a
Fredbear
village.
Diner. We see him smiling as he watches Foxy perform, Phone Guy's favorite, right before Foxy sees the room of dead children. We know that the puppet and the killer wouldn't get along, which would explain Phone Guy's discomfort around a creature
Well,
that he
that's nice,
describes
Robo.
as always
Well, that's
thinking.
nice, Robo.
And here's the bombshell. We know the killer is a security guard. How?
I'll
On
mark those
very
chords.
rare
Oh, crap. I'll mark
occasions
those
during the
chords.
Save Them
Oh,
minigame,
crap.
while Freddy chases the puppet, the purple man appears
lag,
and chases
lag,
you.
oh,
Look on his
lag,
chest. It's an
lag.
orange badge, the kind that would be given to a security guard. Now look at his eyes. Notice the white spots? An odd, seemingly innocuous detail. But now look at
Okay.
Golden Freddy. Look deep into his dead, vacant eyes. What do you see? Two white spots.
Great to see you
Pinpricks,
back
really.
again, Zebra.
Barely
Great to
visible.
see you back
They're
again,
there.
Zebra.
Now finally, what do we see in Purple Guy's hand? Well, the Atari graphics make it tough to discern. It's not like any gun or knife I've seen. No, that to me is very clearly a phone. The robotic voice is spelling out for you, save them, save them.
Okay,
But when Purple Guy,
where you at,
Phone
Psychic?
Guy, catches you,
where you
the
at, Psychic?
screen
Robo?
crashes and
We're not
all you're
Psychic,
left
Robo.
with
Oh my
is
gosh, I'm an
you
idiot.
can't.
No, I'm Jess.
But that's not where it ends,
somewhere
Internet.
around here?
As you and I both
Are you
know, there's still
somewhere around here?
5 Nights at Freddy's 1. If this game is last in line and the puppet is truly pulling the strings behind all of this, you might be asking yourself where he is in 5 Nights 1. We know the other animatronics got scrapped, but this ghostly guy should still be around if this timeline I proposed is correct. And get this, the puppet is in the first game. Take a
You
look
sure
at the
about
East
that?
hallway. Seems pretty normal, right? But every so often, the posters on the walls change to this: a crying child with 2 streaming lines down his face. Look familiar? It should. The 5 Nights at Freddy's series is about vengeance.
Hello,
One
Pegasus
child,
gamers.
6
Hello,
children,
Pegasus gamers.
more, looking for revenge against a sick child killer. The Purple Guy. The guy who just so happens to be the first voice you hear when turning on these games. Save them. Save them. You can't. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
That's alright.
Thanks for watching.
It's alright.
Make sure you wind that music box by clicking the subscribe button, otherwise the puppet might get ya. Click it! Click it! Oh, I guess you were safe after all. It's almost the holiday break. You know what I like to do during this time of love and gladness? Catch up on my favorite TV shows. But at this point, I don't have cable and should
I'm kind of far away. I'm kind of far away and Jesse about to begin a trial. I'll make sure to come look in just a second. I'll make sure to come look. I say just a second, but whenever we're finished. I say just a second, but whenever we're finished with the trial.
Oh my god!
Nailed it.
Tonight,
Hell yeah.
they're dudes
We're really close.
Golf sucks. I'm done.
We're really
being
close.
dudes.
Whoa, they got a freaking bathroom just for pooping. Whoa, that is not whipped cream.
Doing dude stuff.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna bother
crap,
you
okay.
guys so you can go funnel wings into your butt.
Finally, we
I
have
need
a
to
safe
get
space
the,
for our
stuff.
marginalized
I need to,
community.
Get the,
Universal Basic
what do you
Guys.
say?
On
Bad Omen
tonight.
4? What do you say? Bad Omen 4? Horses.
It's time.
Horses. Cows. Donkeys. Donkeys. Oops, sorry. Oops, sorry.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, where good things,
all the
or at
horses and
least
donkeys
FNAF
that I
things,
know where they
come
are
to
being
those who
used.
wait.
I know where they
And
are
man,
being
when it
used
comes to
by
this
people.
game
Saddles,
series,
those
no
horses
one
that
was
they have
waiting
saddles
for
and stuff.
anything. I mean, the second game came out 3 months after the first, the trailer for the third was 2 months later, and like 4 minutes after that, the game was available to download. So forgive me if I was caught with my pants down on that one. I just wasn't prepared for it. But even more impressive than that abbreviated timeline was your
it's the same
ability
thing as
to
having a
rip
pet
that
dog.
final
It's the same thing as having a pet dog. You wouldn't kill someone's
hours after the
dog,
release
would
of the
you?
game, people were discussing good versus bad endings, 8-bit Atari cake, glitching through walls, and punching a flipping code into cement bricks arranged like a telephone
Well,
dial
it's the same
pad.
principle,
In
so-
regards to that
well, it's the
last
same
one, I have
principle.
two
Hope you
things to
understand
say.
for that.
First off, well
Hope you
done to you
understand
guys
for
for
that.
figuring it out so quickly, and
Yes,
secondly,
Psychic.
Scott,
There we go.
seriously.
Yes, Psychic.
Seriously, Scott? Oh look, here's a wall. Let me just dial in my
Do you
phone
want to
number.
die in a trial chamber? Do you want to die in a trial
When
chamber?
did we
Don't take that the
jump
wrong
from a
way,
point-and-click
but I'm just
horror
saying, don't
game
take that
to
the wrong
magical
way. Trial
fantasy?
chamber
This thing is like
because we're in a
platform
trial
9
chamber right now.
3/4. I expect Harry effing Potter to apparate into
With-
Pirate's Cove or something. Jeez, here I was thinking that you'd plug your numbers into, the one other place that you see numbers in this game, the bonus jump
I'm
scare
gonna go back
menu.
to spawn
or
in the.
something,
I'm gonna go
anything.
back to spawn.
But
Okay,
nope,
just put
dialing
away all
it
your
into
stuff.
a wall
Okay, just
makes
put away all your
so
stuff.
much
That
more
way,
sense.
whenever you die, you get respawned. That way, whenever
Okay,
you die,
sorry,
you get respawned.
just need to get that one off my chest. Moving on. Now, with 15 days at Freddy's under our belts and a few overtime hours clocked in for good measure, we have
And then let
ourselves
me
a
know whenever
completed
you're
video
ready.
game
And then let me
trilogy,
know
with the
whenever
third
you're
game
ready.
giving us more jump scares, more phone guy, and more fan. But this
My
game
chords
also
are like in
contains
the
the final
2000s.
clues
My
we need to
chords
get
are
some
like in the
closure on this
2000s.
game's
I
deviously
was
vague
using a
story.
mantra.
Scotty C certainly
Okay,
didn't make
well,
things
I'm
any
not ready. I'm
easier
still in the
for us,
middle.
but
Okay,
at this
well,
point I
I'm
think
not
we
ready. I'm still
finally
in the
have
middle
enough
fighting.
puzzle pieces scattered
Yes,
across the
there
3
is
games
Pumpkin.
to assemble
Yes,
a fairly
there is
accurate
Pumpkin.
picture of this franchise's lore.
It's
Since
a,
you guys had a, let's just say,
I don't know
above
why, but
average
whenever I created
interest
I don't
in
know
this
why, but
theory,
it-
I
whenever
wanted
I
to
got
create
Rocky
something that
Horror 2,
answered
so
as
allows
many
better Rocky
questions
Horror 2,
as
so,
possible about this
that's a bonus.
franchise. But
Just-
beyond just
I'll
the
need you
details,
to
the question
agree
we
to the
all
terms.
want
I'll
to
need
answer
you
to
to
is
agree
what
to the terms
exactly
of service.
happened in the
Don't,
story throughout this series?
don't,
It's a pretty fundamental
don't annoy
question
me,
to not have an
basically.
answer
Read the
to,
rules
and
whenever
yet,
you
despite
basically
thousands
read
of
the rules
videos,
whenever you get
forum
on join
entries, and
a server
Tumblr
unless I
posts.
don't join the
Whoa,
server,
hey,
unless
put
don't
that
join
away. You
if-
behave yourself.
so,
This
like,
game
don't
is
join
already
if-
scary enough without you sticking your hook
don't
somewhere
join
it
if
doesn't
they're-
belong,
if I'm-
okay?
don't
Despite
join
all
if
those
they're- if
things,
I'm
we still don't have a
is
clear
basically-
picture on the details.
is
Yes, there's a
basically, and
child
then
killer
they're-
on
just
the
read the
loose,
rules
the
whenever you-
infamous
and then
purple
just read
guy
the
who's been
rules.
using
I'll pin the
Fazbear
IP for
pizzerias as his
I'll
hunting
pin the
ground of
IP
choice
for
for
Bedrock.
years, but
Tell me
going
your
into the
Disney
third
account, what
game,
you
we
do.
still
Tell me
weren't
your
sure
name
about
or your
who this
in-game
guy
name.
was, or even how
Or
many
your
victims
in-game
he'd
name.
officially taken. Then there are the animatronics. Sure, we
Oh, okay.
generally understand that the killer's
Oh,
dead
okay.
bodies have been stuffed into some of the suits, and that with the help of the puppet, the kids were able to find new life in those robotic bodies. But then, what about Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy, who randomly appeared in FNAF 2 only to become prominent figures throughout
It's probably
Part 3?
mine, Psychic.
How do they fit
It's
in?
probably
What about
mine,
the
Psychic.
ghostly Golden Freddy, someone we've been talking about since the first game, and yet we still don't really know anything
Pumpkin,
about
if
it.
it-
Well, now
sometimes
that
it
we
doesn't let
finally
you,
have
send
all
you-
facts,
sometimes
I
it
think it's
doesn't let
time we
you,
revisit my
so just, like, do it
timeline I
with
presented in the
spaces.
last
So just, like,
episode
do
to
it
see
with
what I got
spaces.
right, what I got wrong,
or something.
Yes, you heard that. Wrong. No
Okay,
shame.
Psychic.
I'm a big boy.
Give me a
Mommy,
sec.
wow,
Okay,
I'm
Psychic.
a big
We're still-
kid now.
give me a
And
second.
finally fill in the
We're
missing
still-
details
Jesse?
to
Talking
create
about-
what I believe to
Jesse?
be my definitive Five Nights
about 2
theory.
minutes
And boy, howdy, it is a doozy. So strap in, theorists.
So prepare.
You wanted it, you're about to get it. Overall, the timeline of the franchise I presented in the last video still holds strong. Decades before the name became a horror legend meriting its
Okay.
own theme park style attraction,
Okay.
Freddy Fazbear got his
I'll get
start
you
at
whitelisted in
Fredbear
just a second.
Family
I'll
Diner.
get you
It's here
whitelisted
where
in
our
just a
story
second.
begins
I've gotta
as
do, like,
Purple Guy
3
takes
different
his
things. I've
first
gotta do, like,
victim.
well, I say
Something we
3 different things,
see
like
in
one
the
cuss
Take
thing.
Cake
Well, I say
minigame
3,
from
which is
Five Nights at Freddy's 2. What
which
tells
is-
us that this is Fredbear's and first in the timeline? Well, as I said last time, in addition to it being a small space, the
I
only
mean,
character
I
we see
can,
is Freddy,
but
whereas
I mean,
all
I
other
can die in a
minigames
trial
feature multiple
chamber.
animatronics.
If you wanna die in a
He's
trial
also
chamber, put away some
holding
of
a
your stuff
cup.
is all.
Since that would
Sorry,
later
Jesse,
become
did not mean to
Chica's
hit you
signature
again.
item,
Sorry,
the event
Jesse, did not
depicted
mean
in
to
this
hit you
game
again.
must have come before before she was created. Additionally, notice that the purple guy's murder takes place outside the building.
Guys.
This is the
I'm trying to
only
make it
time
safe,
we see him
guys.
murder someone
I'm trying to make it
outside
safe
the
for you.
walls of a Fazbear building, which implies
for
that this
me.
is likely his first
And for
victim.
me.
Serial killers often have what's known as a signature, a way of killing that's unique to him and him alone. For Purple Guy, his signature is dressing in an animatronic costume, then luring children to the back of the pizzeria and killing them there. But this murder occurs before he developed this particular style, implying that it's the first. From there, we know that the puppet jump scare that always follows this minigame, combined with the tier design on both the dead child and the puppet's mask, implies that the soul of the first child now exists in the puppet. The event caused the original owners to sell the Threadbare name, who then rebranded and avoided the negative PR, becoming what we know today as Fazbear Entertainment. They then opened a new chain of restaurants, which we never saw in the games until the release of Five Nights 3. This is not Fredbear Diner like many interpret, but rather the first location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, predating the events of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Let me just leave my bookmark.
Oh, nice, nice. Oh, nice, I see nice. You fixed it. Very good, very good. I see you fixed it. Very good, very good.
Alright. Bye.